good form. Impressive win against the Wollongong Hawks. In Wollongong, went to the sand pit and rocked the Hawks. Let's see if they can take that form into this game. Eddie Gill throws it way upstairs and out of bounds to Elvin Mims.
Elvin Mims is an athlete. There's no doubt about that, but that was extreme. But really looking forward to see Gill play tonight. He's very experienced, and really as he goes, as does the Townsville Crocs. A nice early play, and that's going to be a problem all night for the Townsville Crocodiles. Mark Worthington down low, picking up the cheapie to start things off.
Very cheap. Nice little high-low. That matchup problem that we're talking about in the starting fives showing early. Franchise just too big for that smaller matchup. Mims gets it to Gill. He has the ability to get his team a good shot. Not able to get that one to go. Worthington 1-on-2. He'll slow it down. It's the streaking Stephen Hoare. He puts it off too hard off the backboard. Will Hudson down low doing the work. Took a step before he put it back in.
And that'd be a concerning sign for the Townsville Crocs with Stephen Hoare, although he missed the easy, or relatively easy, transition basket. The Crocs don't want to get into a running contest. They don't want to make this a track meet. They want to keep it, the tempo a little bit more in their favour in the half-court game. And there we saw a couple of very good opportunities by the Gold Coast Blaze that they weren't able to capitalise on.
Crawford gets it to Mims. His reverse layup is too quick for Mark Worthington from the weak side. We're all tied up to 2.
Elvin Mims has been very efficient this season. Steve, he's shooting it at 64% from the field, if you don't mind.
Shooting at a very good clip. Stephen Hoare shooting at a very respectable shooting percentage from the field as well. Worthington, as Peter Crawford comes from the weak side, gets some help on the baseline. Out of bounds still to the Gold Coast Blaze. We get another look.
Todd Blanchfield getting the start, and he's going to have his hands full when he's guarding Mark Worthington down low. Does a good job against Goulding.
Worthington had to get it off in a hurry. That goes off the hand of Will Hudson.
Will Hudson's another one making his debut this season, coming out a good start to the season, averaging 15 points a game. Only playing 23 minutes a game, so Joey Wright, as I said, he's got 10 deep, so he's really sharing his minutes around.
Peter Crawford on the mismatch had Will Hudson out on the perimeter. Gave him a ball fake, dropped his hands, and then dropped the 3. Crocs up 5-2. Stephen Hoare doing his work on the baseline. And both the
lack of communication there, or perhaps someone not quite reading the scouting report right and how they're going to guard the Blazers offense. And Stephen Hoare, the beneficiary of that.
I was out here, I can't help you with that one.
Peter Crawford not happy with the foul. A little bit of contact on the shot.
Stephen Hoare, the line drive ties up the game at 5.
The veteran Stephen Hoare now. Still looks like he did a number of years ago, but he turns 36 tomorrow, Steve.
Wow.
Happy birthday to Stephen Hoare for tomorrow, but still playing some very good basketball for the Blaze.
Gold Coast turning up the intensity with their D. Mims just inside the 3-point line. And he drops the long 2.
And there you saw the willingness of the Gold Coast Blaze to switch. Not afraid to have Stephen Hoare switch on to Gill.
Mismatch down low, and Gill gets a piece of it. Will Hudson with the hands in the back on the push. Tremendous scrapping defense from Eddie Gill. Get another look. Look at that.
And that's what you got to do when you're undersized. You'd like a little bit more pressure on the ball. Jacob Holmes needs to get up to just to try and not make that pass so easy. But when you're undersized, you've got to try and keep the ball out of the low post hands, and did a good job of that time with a full front.
Peter Crawford checking to see how hot he is.
Thought he was fouled on the shot.
Crawford trying to turn the corner. Blanchfield catch and shoot. He's long. Will Hudson doing the work on the glass for the Gold Coast Blaze. 6.5 to go here in the first. Give and go. Sorry, pick and roll, I should say, with Stephen Hoare and Adam Gibson.
Great pass, good read by Adam Gibson. Jacob Holmes comes back with a quick reply. But Adam Gibson there just picking him off. He's gotten so much better here, the way he's matured as a point guard. He started his career very much like a two-guard, but now very good at distributing the ball as Mark Worthington shows his versatility as he steps out from the land of plenty.
Don't know how to guard that man. He posts up smaller guys. Had a nice seal for his first basket. He's got 5 already.
Almost identical defensive strategies by both these teams. Switching on any screens, both on and off the ball.
Mims with the 3. Finally, the loose ball goes to Adam Gibson. Somehow the ball gets to Will Hudson. A couple of guys mistimed it.
Yeah, that was just pure mistiming by Peter Crawford. He had the right position, but just jumped a little early and was caught out of position. I tell you what, the ease at which the Gold Coast Blaze are getting baskets will be a real concern. Blaze coming out on fire at 56% of the field.
Worthington goes for the steal. Crawford. Mims, a little hard on the catch. Hudson with another board, gets it to Gibson. Blaze with a 2-point lead. Hudson on the mismatch again. They're forcing that switch.
And I tell you what, it's very clear to see the offensive strategy of the Gold Coast Blaze early on. Post people up, get the ball inside. That's clearly been the message.
Golding trying to turn the corner. He may have slid that pivot foot. Stephen Hoare makes no mistake with his medium range J. Timeout on the floor. That'll go by way of Townsville. And it's 13-9. Halfway through the first quarter. We'll be back.
Our dream kitchen started with some basic ideas and colours.
Major Tiles understood our style and brought it to life.
They gave us great options, all within our budget.
We fell in love with this.
Which became this. We loved it then, and we still do today. Visit Major Tiles to begin your story.
Want more? Then get into TeleChoice. Sign up for any postpaid or prepaid mobile phone and grab a bonus in-card. In-card gives you huge savings off groceries, petrol, movie, restaurants, major fashion, golf courses and more. But it's only available at TeleChoice. TeleChoice, the people's choice.
Great whites right there. I love those whites. That's great. But we have to be contact switches. If we do switch, come together. We can't just guess where they're going to go. Okay? Down here, next time down, run power, fist. Okay? Worthington side. He's overplaying it. Okay? Power, fist, and attack. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
Andrew Paul Wolford trying to make some adjustments on how they're going to play that switch.
And they need to, because what we've seen early on, any switches have been really passive. And when you're passive on those switches, it's usually the guy who's setting the pick that's going to be open. We saw that early on with Adam Gibson finding Stephen Hoare. If you're going to switch, you've got to have pressure on the ball to make that quick pass to the roll-off guy a little tougher to make. So theory's right, just the intensity not quite there on the defensive end.
Back down to Blanchfield. The pressure they put on Townsville.
Good call from the timeout. They read the overplay that was going on by Mark Worthington, so they send the back door and take good advantage of the defensive strategy of the plays.
Gibson. Jacob Holmes.
Just not quite in position.
Close.
Very close, but that's when you impede the ball handle like that, that's a good call. It looks soft, but it's a good call. There we see Peter Crawford. No problems there. In the old days, that's over and back. But here's Blanchfield, and there you saw it was Stephen Hoare just trying to get in the lanes and prevent that pass, and they get the easy backdoor option. Love it, Steve. Love the play.
Just to clarify on that half-court violation, that wasn't. As Petrie gets the layup, misses. Loose ball down. There goes to Holmes. The ball has to go over and back now, doesn't it?
Ball and both feet.
Wow, that's a lot.
You've got to be completely over.
Don't see many of those.
No.
Gill getting to the rim, as we've seen him do in the games that we've covered, has the ability to make something out of nothing. Explores on the break. On that mismatch, Mark Worthington, remember, last week was guarding Reese Martin. And they're trying to have a big, slow the penetration down of Eddie Gill.
And you could see his skill there. You don't have the experiences like he has had at various levels, including the NBA, without being able to play, and particularly without being able to get into the paint. And you saw him there just be able to find a way into the traffic. He's a solid, strong-looking lad, isn't he?
He sure
Look
is.
at the guns on him. James Harvey comes into the game for the Gold Coast Blaze. He had a very difficult season last year with injury, and it seemed like he was cursed this year when he had a problem with his hand, broke a bone in his hand, and only played the one game so far, and it wasn't a great one as far as his personal contribution, 0 for 4, but he's a superstar that can explode from the perimeter. Jason Kadee also checks in. And he's another one that last year, coming off that horrific hip injury that was sustained in a very dangerous car accident.
Eddie Gill goes down. Ooh. Heavy, lands in the crease. Great duel going on between him and Adam Gibson. Nice pass to Tommy Garliff.
And that again, just a switching defense, almost like a zone, and Gill, without pressure on the ball, they picked him off very, very easily.
Michael Cedar into the game for Townsville. Tries to turn the corner on James Harvey. Gets his own rebound. He's fouled by Harv from behind. Well, one of the things that Paul Wolpert said in the timeout was when you switch, you got to come together. There's a bit of a gap between that switch and defense, and Gold Coast are exploiting it. Gill waits for the on ball to Holmes. He puts it on the floor. Tough shot. Looked like he was in two minds of whether he was going to bank it or shoot it straight. Mims pulls up for his little medium range. Jay at the foul line is long. Blaze still with a 2-point lead. Jason Kadee. Gold Coast Blaze going with 2 point guards.
There you see a foul off the ball. Again, a mismatch. And forces the foul, just a holding foul on Eddie Gill, and he checks out the game. Both the imports checking out. See it down low, and there you see just a little hole. And that's what happens if you've got sophistication in your offense and they're going to run that switching defense. It's always going to provide an opportunity for mismatches, which it has tonight. And you heard Paul Wolford in that last time out saying you don't have to switch if you don't have to. Only on the curls, because there's been so many mismatches created tonight.
Cedar with the floater. Chris Cedar playing with a tremendous amount of confidence this year. He's been doing it in training for a couple of years, and it's translated into the games at the NBL level. Adam Gibson, who's been on fire outside the three-point line, is long. Ben Allen boards it. Holmes left alone. Flash. 17-footer is good. Newfound confidence from the South Australian youngster.
His career was in jeopardy until really Russell Hinder went down. He didn't have a team a couple of weeks before the start of the season. And the unfortunate injury to Russell Hinder created an opportunity for Jacob Holmes, and he's making the most of it. 12 points a game. We all know he can rebound, but it's been his consistency from the perimeter that's really handicapped him over the years.
Cedar tries to find Ben Allen. It was a tough bounce pass to catch. James Harvey protects it well and gets the easy lay-in. That should help his confidence. Holmes. Crawford puts it on the floor. His pull-up jump shot short.
surprised to see this lineup on the court a little bit for the Townsville Crocs. Given the impact that Eddie Gill and Elvin Mims has had on the Townsville Crocs, you never think that you see a period in the game where both of them be on the bench together, resting at the same time. So good confidence by Paul Wolford in his bench to be able to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
James Harvey had to fire it.
Have a look at the field goal percentage. The Blaze being able to pick up some of those easy baskets in the post-ups, shooting it just a pinch better than the Crocs so far.
Idris De Leon comes in for James Harvey. A tough one for James Harvey because he was open on that baseline cut. Didn't get a good pass and then had to fire it up.
De Leon, Idris De Leon is got a reputation of being a very, very good player in the streets of New York.
Played his college basketball at Eastern Washington.
Had a 40-point game in college, so you know he must be able to put the ball in the hole. And they exploit the little fella down low. Welcome to the NBL, Idris.
Well, they have him listed at 5'11", but I'm not quite sure of that one. Petrie puts it on the floor, can't get the roll. He'd be unhappy with that result. Took the hit down on the body. His arm was free. Just a little bit more on De Leon, 26 years old. As I mentioned, played his ball at Eastern Washington. 42 points he had.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to the same school as the Detroit Pistons' Rodney Stuckey, who happened to drop 45 when he was in college. That's a lot of points in a 40-minute game.
I don't think these two played together. He's correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they didn't play together. But 45, I believe, is the school record. So De Leon not far off the school record, playing in a decent mid-major school at Eastern Washington. So, as you can imagine, someone of his size, they say he's explosively quick and can create his shot and get to the rack off the dribble.
All you got to do is check that name out on YouTube, and some pretty fancy ball handling will be displayed. Hopefully we get a chance. He gets on the other end of the floor.
Crocs are going to hold it for the last shot of the quarter.
Cedar kicks it to Ben Allen. He's off the mark.